2 races to go in the Underdog Xfinity Series here as we look to close out the season here 2 races left here tonight. We're at the Nashville Fairgrounds with the Underdog Racing League Xfinity Series, brought to you by Ultimate Siding and Gutter LLC. Our customers say we're the best in the business. We specialize in residential and commercial construction, and we've been in business for over 15 years, only using the best materials and dedicated to completing each project in a timely manner. There's nothing more important to have a house to call a home. Thank you to Ultimate Siding and Gutter LLC for sponsoring the Underdog Racing League. But I am Zach Hall. Up in the booth alongside me is Carl Pooler tonight, and we'll have Robert Moyer Jr. as always up in the production box. 2 races to go, Carl. We're here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Trevor Earhart entering the points lead here tonight. 12 points over the favorite possibly entering these playoffs. Jason Finsler, who's coming off 2 really tough races. It's getting down to the nitty gritty here. It's going to be important to get everything out of the Nashville Fairgrounds here tonight.
Definitely, Zach, and a lot of these drivers are going to be pushing. Jason Finsler in a position he's not really used to. You know, he's in, second, but he's behind someone. So we're not used to seeing that, especially later in the run. He had a couple of tough runs this past couple of weeks. And this is not an easy track. It's a short track. It's a bumpy track. So I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of bent metal and hurt feelings at the end of the night.
It definitely could play out that way right now. We're going through the last final moments of the practice session with about 5 minutes left in it. It's going to be a fantastic night of racing around the Nashville Fairgrounds. 120 laps here. We're talking about those points. That's going to be the most interesting thing entering the night course with 2 races left. It's going to be Trevor Earhart in the 25, our points leader entering tonight after having 2 good weeks at Daytona and Road America to launch himself from farther back in the points up to the lead, now 12 points above the 5 of Jason Finsler, who's going to be back there in the second position. 22 points back is going to be Nick Alves in the 24. Justice Murphy, he's going to be 28 points back in 4th place. And rounding out the top 5 there in the points, that's going to be James Lowen, 29 points back. So top 5 within 29 here with 2 races to go. Stages involved. It could get very close here, and I think the stages are going to probably be the most critical thing here tonight.
Oh, those stages are going to be so important. 10 points for first place. Jason Finsler, I think last race we were at, he didn't get a lot of stage points. He was trying to use strategy, and it bit him kind of a little bit at the end, though. So definitely stage points going to be really important for all these drivers, and every position is going to count and matter to all these drivers.
That it will. We're going to have to see how it all plays out for sure here. Right now, fastest man on the racetrack in our practice session, that's Jason Finsler in the 5 machine. He's looking to get that extra bonus point for sitting on the pole position here that you can get. That would help him close the lead down to 11 points here. And then, Trevor Earhart sitting second on the board there, not too far away from Jason Finsler in time. That's going to be the thing he needs to do. If he cannot beat Jason Finsler, he needs to at least finish second to him in each of these stages and get the most points possible, and not let Jason Finsler just, run away with getting those max bonus points. So it's going to be critical for Trevor Earhart if he can't beat Jason Finsler in the next 2 races to at least be right there with him, because he'll have a 12-point gap that will help him. If he can finish second to him in each stage, even if Jason Finsler dominates his way all the way to the end, he can still end up the champion.
And definitely, that is that 1 extra point. Yeah, he's going to lose points, but not as much. And you also want to try and stem the bleeding as much as you can. So stage points going to be huge. I think pit stops are going to be huge. This is kind of a difficult pit stall to get into as well. So, man, this track is going to be really fun to watch as the second to last track of the season. A lot of these drivers are going to have their hands full throughout this race.
Hands full for sure, Carl. It's going to be a fun one to see. My first time ever here at the Nashville Fairgrounds here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Never have we, I believe, we called a race here. So this is a first time. Track Force, we've been getting a lot of new ones on the circuit this past season, and it's good to see, because I'm sure this track here, it just got announced from NASCAR that there is going to be renovations going down to put in place for this track, and possibly the company at Dover looking to buy it too. So it's looking very bright here at the Nashville Fairgrounds for possible Cup Series in the future. But tonight we get the experience, the Xfinity cars on the track as it lays here today in present time at Nashville.
And this is going to be such a fun track to see, and just seeing these cars out here is just really, really fun. It's almost like a large kind of diameter of Martinsville, so it's really interesting to see the banking too. But I've been noticing some marbles get up in that third lane, so I have a feeling you get up too far out there, you could find yourself in the wall. So these guys, this is a really quick hands track. You got to be, you know, smooth but quick on the wheel. So this is going to be a fun track for everyone watching tonight.
Looks like we have just about a minute to go here in our practice session before we head off into the 5-minute qualifier. Let's give a special shout out to one of our sponsors here, Freaky Fast Broadcasting. That's ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Remember, every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 will let you feel or detail from the footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car. If you head on over to ButtKicker.com, you can use that discount code there, FreakyFast20, to get 20% off of any purchase there at ButtKicker. And remember, ButtKicker, feel what you've been missing. Well, Carl, 30 seconds to go. Qualifying is going to be important. That point is up for available for sitting on pole. Right now, Jason Fensler at a 1907 compared to a 1916 by Trevor Earhart. So it's almost a tenth of a second gap there. Right now, Fensler's got to be feeling confident. But any mistake here in qualifying will set him back. And, you know, this track, very much a short track, it can be dangerous to put yourself back into the pack.
Definitely, as we saw the 44 of Ray Lane go around on that practice lap, but this is a short track, 0.6 of a mile, so it is going to be a little tight, and anything that happens ahead of you, you can get caught up real quick. So track position is not only going to be important for points, but really important for keeping your car clean as we close on practice and get ready for this qualifying session. This is where these drivers are going to really want to try and get that fastest lap and that track position.
Oh, and look at this. We looks like we went to nighttime here all of a sudden as the lights just clicked on. We just fast forward. So at the same time, we're now under the lights. This is definitely gonna change probably the conditions on the track the most dramatically of anything. Yeah, that right there threw me off guard. I haven't seen that one happen in a while, but yeah, we're gonna head off here to under the lights in qualifying right here. And you know, one of the most interesting things I watched so far, just you know, from the practice I've watched, first time broadcasting here, but these Xfinity cars not liking the bottom lane. These guys are gonna enter up on that second lane, run it all the way to the middle lane, and then cut down on exit to get the corner run off. And you can see everybody almost doing that as we watch the 15 of John Magner do that exact line I speak of. And I'm thinking that's most likely due to the bumps here, Carl.
Oh, this track is extremely bumpy, Zach. Both entries of both corners of 3 and 1, extremely bumpy. They really want to throw that car around, so they kind of get a little easier as you go up the track. So that's going to be a really interesting line that they're going to have to ride because you have the bumps below you and the marbles above you. This could be really intense for the drivers as they try and keep control of their car and kind of in that middle lane in both of those corners.
Oh, looks like Kevin Orlando Jr. the 27 wrecked on his lap. Looks like James Loveland starting his lap here. Also, Jason Fensler start of his first lap in the 5 machine. A lot of drivers starting to put times down here, but right now, Justice Murphy top of the board, 1924. He picked up a full 10th from that practice session. We'll see if anybody else can do that along with him, but Jason Fensler will be coming to take the white flag for his qualifying lap. We'll see what he can produce in the 5.
Definitely important. It's going to be, here we are, Matt Job already finished his lap, so that's interesting, but the 5 coming down the backstretch, still trying to run that time. He's up in third with a 1932 coming around, so third place for him. Justice Murphy in second. Ooh, as we watch him get a little loose there coming out of 4, so these drivers are already having their hands full, but Jason Fensler did go up into the first spot, so right now we're still waiting on James Loveland to qualify, and don't see Trevor Earhart up there, which is interesting. That's going to definitely counter his strategy to get those stage points.
Yeah, it looks like he's pulling out the backstretch now here as we watch him through 3 and 4. He's going to be coming to take the green here. Yeah, Jason Fensler not picking up the time like some of the other drivers did from their practice session. Right now, we'll see if Trevor Earhart can make up for that and run as quick as he did in practice. It will be the pole time right now. It's 19:18. Right now, the top time he ran at 19:16 in practice here. Going to be coming to the white flag for his qualifying lap. We'll see what he can produce here if he can start up front.
And huge moment here. Ray Lane going faster by faster than Jason Fenzer by a full tenth of a second. So that is going to be huge for that front line. Jason Fenzer have to take that outside line. Matt Job is going to be right behind him, it looks like, in third. So already a shakeup to start this race. So a lot of these drivers already trying to get those points. As Trevor Earhart bumps Jason Fenzer down to third by 4 thousandths of a second. That is awesome. So already shaking up the field, and the points already adding a huge factor into this race.
Wow, yeah, that's definitely going to shake things up there. Put Trevor Earhart, our points leader, out in front of our second place man in points there of Jason Fenzer right now as qualifying continues on. We have just about a minute and 20 to go. But Ray Lane, what a lap from him. He's the driver that picks up the most time. And, that's what's the most interesting about the track state change there. We just went from, pretty good daylight session to where right now we are pretty much in the twilight of the day. It is the sun going down. It is sunset time, and man, the track seems to have picked up time, but some of the drivers looks like they maybe lost some time just to not maybe knowing what to expect.
That makes me wonder, Zach. Will the line change as well? Because we saw Jason Fenzer putting down some really fast laps consistently during the practice session. So that's really interesting that he's almost a full tenth of his time in the practice. So will that line change? Will these drivers have to adjust as the track and the weather moves on throughout the race?
Yeah, that will be an interesting question. I went back myself right now watching Ray Lane's lap. Seems to be that same line entering higher, but definitely attacking a little bit more on the bottom. I feel like later on the exit. So definitely interesting there. And also on his first lap, he didn't even have to do a second lap. So a lot of guys were tipped in that fast lap on the second time. He said, nah, first time is gonna be the way to go, and it's gonna put him on the pole here tonight as qualifying has come to a end here as Ray Lane, he's going to bring us to the start of the green flag here at the Nashville Fairgrounds here tonight. We're going to look to bring up our qualifying results and see where our 17 drivers will line up for the penultimate race of the Underdog Racing League. Ray Lane going to start out front on pole. Second alongside him is going to go to Trevor Earhart. Third is going to be Jason Fensler. Fourth is going to go to Matt Job, winner from last week or 2 weeks ago at Daytona. Fifth is going to go to Justice Murphy. Sixth place is going to go to Nick Alves. Seventh is going to be Ryan Swinem. Eighth is going to go to Grant Thorpe. Ninth is going to go to Cody Dorsey. And rounding out the top 10 is going to be Dylan Walterman in the 10th position.
Starting off in 11th place, the three of Jacob Sirkovich. 12th place, John Magner. Christopher Heitz there in 13th. Scott Kerberg in 14th. Parker Johnston 15th. Kevin Orlando Jr. in 16th. And rounding out the field, James Loveland in 17th. He did not put a qualifying lap down. So that rounds out the field today for 120 laps here at Nashville Fairgrounds.
That it was. There was your start and grid. It looks like Ray Lane going to bring us to that green flag here at some point, but man, it's got to be nerves out there on the racetrack. Only 2 races to go, and with the points as close as they are, it's gonna be very, very tight all the way down to that checkered flag next week. I cannot wait to see that all play out, but right now we're gonna get ready for these cars to pull off of the grid. Some drivers that are gonna be looking, we're talking a lot about Jason Fenzer, Trevor Earhart. They're 12 points separating those two. That is nothing with these stages here, at the league. That can be very easily erased, but also 22 points back for Nick Alves in the 24, starting back there in 6th right there. That's not too far back. Justice Murphy starting 5th right there. He's only 28 back. James Lovell, we heard, didn't get a time in, so he's going to be very in a tough spot back there, starting at the rear of the field. 29 points back, but Job's 30 back. Dylan Walterman 33 back. I feel like our top 7 in points all have a great shot still at this championship.
And definitely, but you never know what can happen, and we have been seeing these guys get a little loose, get a little squirrely. We noted the bumps, we noted the kind of odd line of this track that these drivers are preferring, so a lot can happen. 120 laps is a long time around this short track at Nashville, so I think all of these guys are on pins and needles, hoping that they can come to the end of this race unscathed.
That they are. It's going to be fun to watch here as we pull them down the back straightaway and get ready to take this race green flag. As you can see, Trevor Earhart trying to get those tires warm, get all his equipment ready as we take one more pace lap before we'll go green. Ray Lane, though, from the catbird seat, he's going to be looking to lead this field at the start.
and definitely a great place to be. You want to start out front whenever you can, the pole, and you want to lead. So we know Jason Fenster's fast, but he's going to have to pass a couple cars to get up there. Ray Lane definitely can make a huge dent in that points differential that he has going into this penultimate race, like you keep mentioning. So definitely good to be on the pole and ready to go racing as the pace car goes into 3, coming up 4.
Here we go. 2 races left for the Underdog Racing League Xfinity Series. Ray Lane in control of the field. Barney with the green flag. We're going to get ready to go short track racing on a Wednesday night. Green flag is in the air. We're off and away. Ray Lane leads us down the 1, but side by side for the lead. It's going to be Trevor Earhart leading the points and taking the lead off of 2.
And here comes Jason Fenster rolling around the outside of Ray Lane as well, coming out of 2. So Ray Lane loses 2 spots on that start. As we see the 9 of Justice Murphy coming inside too. Looks like Ray Lane did not get the start he wanted, but here's Trevor Earhart and Jason Fenster battling it out, coming out of 2.
Man, oh man, what a wild start to this race. Already our top 2 points shot out of a cannon here, trying to get away from the field. The 1 bonus point goes to Trevor Earhart. Jason Fenster knows he's going to want to tie that up and get himself a bonus point for leading a lap out front, but our pole setter Ray Lane has dropped back considerably here, almost a 1.5 second gap up to our leaders as the top 2 look to be battling. I think it's going to be tough to pass here with that outside lane being very strong.
It's going to be very tough to pass. I think Ray Lane starting on the inside with those bumps really hurt his start there, and especially that first corner. So definitely something to watch as we're riding on board. Jason Fenster gets right up to the bumper. Trevor Earhart goes a little wide and kind of cuts it down coming out of 2. So definitely close calls already on this track. We are 4 laps in, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on tight.
Yeah, 4 laps in. That shows you how fast the laps click off here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. 19-second laps. It's like Martinsville around this place almost. You know, it's 0.6 of a mile. And, you know, the big thing here, stage 1 at lap 30, stage 2 at lap 70. Right now, it's a sprint race to lap 30. Who can get up there and win that stage is going to get the best bonus points. It's our top 2 out front battling. But back here in 3rd, Justice Murphy starting to put pressure on the 44 Ray Lane.
And I think all these cars are trying to get around Ray Lane. They're all not really strung out. They're all just kind of being patient, waiting their time. 30 laps to go on this stage as we come out with the first caution. I think we have a car around somewhere. So definitely interesting already with our first caution. But fuel and tires, I think you can go these probably the first stage you could stop, and then the second stage do a stop. So this, I think, is going to be flat out racing all night long. As we go to the Freaky Fast instant replay. All right, so we have the 3 of Sirkovich on the inside of 21 of Heights. Heights with that pink banner. He's in the playoffs. Going down the front stretch, crossing the finish line there. Going into 1, it looks like Sirkovich just lost the entry to the corner, and there goes the 15 of John Magner. Oh, the 48 of Parker Johnson just barely. Oh, and the 30, that is Scott Kerberg. Unfortunate for him, that is a special number for him. He finally got his 30th bike for the Bikes for Tykes, so congratulations. That's a special number 30 for him. But unfortunately, an event already early in this race.
Yeah, a little incident like that, a little bit of damage bent up on some fenders here already in the opening 8 laps of the Nashville Fairgrounds. Right now, out front, it's Trevor Earhart, Jason Fenster in 2nd, Ray Lane 3rd, Justice Murphy 4th, and Matt Jobe, your winner from Daytona, rounding out your top 5 here. Man, I tell you what, that first restart told me something. I think the outside lane is going to be where you want to restart. And if I'm Trevor Earhart, I'm selecting that lane, putting my opposition of Jason Fenster down the bottom, hoping Ray Lane can get around him on this restart.
Definitely the strategy I'd be going for, Zach. We saw the first mistake, and luckily Ray Lane didn't lose too many spots. He kind of stabilized in 3rd. So this is going to be kind of fortuitous for him, being able to get another restart and maybe redeem himself. And like you said, get around that 5 coming out of 2 like he did to him.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch this next restart play out. Right now, though, some drivers definitely looking to get their way forward. That's James Loveland starting all the way back in 17th. He's back in 16th right now, riding at the tail of the field. Going to be looking to get himself up here as he's the driver looking to try to get himself back in contention here for this championship. 29 points out starting tonight. It's in a tough, if he doesn't get stage points here in this first stage, it's going to be a tough road here, these final races.
Definitely. You know, you have Trevor Earhart and Jason Fensley. They've been fast as past few races, so that's definitely important. Ray Lane, Justice Murphy there in fourth. So this is definitely interesting. Nick Alves. So yeah, all the guys that he needs to beat are in front of him. So as the pace car makes his way down pit road, we get ready to go green on the lap 11 here at Nashville Fairgrounds.
Here we go. Green flag is out. Trevor Earhart shot out of a cannon as the 9 of Justice Murphy looks to hold the outside line of the 5 of Jason Fenzer. He says not today. He closes the door, drives it in deep, clears the 9, gets himself up a second, but now it's a dead heat up front. Trevor Earhart won. Really no car link back to Jason Fenzer off of 4 here as we complete this lap. He's going to the inside for the lead.
Oh, here we go. Goes to that inside, washes up a little bit, but keeps it off the 25. Seems to stay with this quarter pedal there, so definitely going into 3. Takes a low line with those bumps, so tricky, but the 25 stays high, and here they come out of 4, side by side, crossing the start finish, going into 1. Again, side by side, so both these drivers really pushing hard already, and the 25 with the momentum coming on the outside, really pushing hard. The 5 sticking on the inside, but that 25 on the outside is not going anywhere anytime soon.
And he's so close to clear. Jason Fenzer, there he goes. He's clear for the lead. Trevor Earhart did everything in his power to try to hold him off, but right now he's still doing a good job. He's got that 1 bonus point for leading the lap. Oh, sliding a little bit of rear there on issue. Got to be careful there. Can't let Justice Murphy come up here and steal any points away from him. He needs to get as many points as possible to keep that gap between him and Jason Fenzer. 12 points entering tonight. Right now, though, Jason Fenzer out front trying to pull away here at stage number 1 at lap 30. We're halfway through when we complete this lap.
And, you know, we're riding along with the 24 Nick Alves, but the top 4 kind of are in a field of their own right now. You have Jason Fenzer in the lead, Trevor Earhart, and then Justice Murphy close behind him. Nick Alves keeping the 9 inside. So all these guys not letting each other out of their sight. They're all racing for points. So this is bad news for James Loveland, who's still back there a few spots, up to only 12th right now. So definitely needs to feel that urgency as we're taking the laps away at starting lap 17.
Yeah, everybody that needs points is up front except for the 56 of James Loveland. He's definitely having a rebound by not getting that qualifying time in there and trying to go around the 21 of Christopher Heights here for position and move himself up forward on the field. But next is going to be Dylan Walterman in front of him there for that 10th position. That'll get him into the points-paying positions. But the drivers he needs to beat in points are all near the front of the field. Jason Fenzer still out front as he's opening up that gap. One thing I am thinking, though, is this track, it does seem to have extreme tire wear, especially if you're running the outer groove. As there it goes, Level to get another beautiful pass to push him up into the points there in the top 10. But this track does seem to wear tires very tough. So if you're out here abusing the tires early in the going, it could get rough for you.
Indefinitely, as we're seeing these guys kind of wiggle around. I'm seeing some of these entries a little higher, and they're all trying to experiment with the lines here and maybe a little lower off the exit, but definitely wearing out these tires a lot. You can see some of the marbling up top of that track, so that's definitely going to cause an issue. You get out there, you lose traction, so it's definitely interesting, but the tires are going to just get worn and worn. So you ride along with the 48s, trailing behind the 99 of Walton Dillerman, and he's been falling back a little bit as he just gets passed by Christopher Heights.
Yeah, these guys have been battling it up back here, and it's definitely interesting to watch the line. It seems you can make passes on the bottom. It's just tough to do, and you got to be careful when you're driving in on those bumps not to wash up and get to the driver ahead of you. But here we go, battle 77 of Grant Thorpe is battling the 89 of Matt Joe, who's got the 44 Ray Lane. It looks like Ray Lane going to check up the 89. That's going to let the 77 go by, and he says a 2-for-1 deal down here in 1 and 2.
That was really scary. We just watched the 44 get up there as he stays up there. Still doesn't have the speed. Gets behind the 89 of Matt Job there, but definitely a little precarious going out there, riding along with the 44 Ray Lane. So definitely you can see the track surface even looks really rough. So as you watch another pass, so definitely struggling in that car there.
Yeah, everybody seems to be struggling right now. I'm watching a lot of guys slide on the entry, slide up the racetrack, giving up spots, and right now it's getting tough right here before we get down to this lap 30 stage. We're nearing it super quick. I mean, it just shows you how fast the laps click off as up here in 44 Ray Lane. He's trying to defend on James Loveland, but it's like Loveland's going to easily pass the 44, who's set on pole, but just has not had the pace here in this first stage. It's a very interesting case here for him.
You know, I wonder if this is a case of overdriving the beginning of the race. He did start pole. He had a lot of pressure from Jason Fensler and Trevor Earhart, and all he's really done is kind of slowly slide back. He's been having a really hard time with this car, so I wonder if this track is really that abrasive. Just those, 1, 2, 3 laps of pushing really hard just really wore him out for him.
Yeah, that's a good question, though. Definitely is a weird case for this. He's sliding off a two there, just not looking like he's got the grip here after sitting on pole, so it's just not worked out for him tonight. But the driver who has worked out the most for is Jason Fensler, as he's still got a 1.2 second lead out front. He's going to be coming by this time to complete lap 27. It's going to be 3 to go here in stage number 1, with Trevor Earhart in second, Justice Murphy third, Nick Alves fourth, and Grant Thorpe there in the 77. Rounding out your top 5 is Grant. He won at the Nashville Super Speedway. He's running top 5 here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Nashville must be a good place for Grant.
Gotta love the music land there, so it definitely has a good vibe going there in Nashville. But look at James Loveland up there in 7th, making ground and coming up with this stage break. He's going to be in a position. He's not going to get as many points as the guys in front of him, but he'll now be in the mix for stage points at the end of stage 2. So definitely important for him. Matt Jobe looks like he's going to get some points. He started 3rd on this restart, I think, and he kind of fell back a little bit as we watch James Loveland go to the inside and just almost get into the side of Matt Jobe. Wow, had to get out of that throttle a little bit as we come on lap 30. So yeah, that stage yellow coming out anytime now.
Yes, it is Jason Fensler final time through 3 and 4. He's going to win stage number 1, looking to come back in the points. It's Jason Fensler who's going to win stage number 1 tonight. Trevor Earhart going to come home second, Justice Murphy third, Nick Alves fourth, Brett Thorpe fifth, and there it is. The caution weighs out on the racing surface. As this stage comes in, we're going to go to a quick commercial break up here at Freaky Fast Broadcast, and we'll be back here when we get ready to go green. All right, we are back here, everybody, at the Underdog Racing League. As you can see, we are back under yellow after that quick green flag little stretch there. Jason Fenzer out front, Trevor Earhart in second. That's how the stage finished there. But Nick Alves is going to get himself up to third. It was Cody Dorsey who spun around there on the front stretch. Looks like no major damage on his cars. We'll get him back lined up, get ready to restart here, as I believe the pace car light should go next time by.
So another case of attrition there. Cody Dorsey couldn't keep it under him and lost a little bit, so bringing out the caution. So interesting. Yeah, we just started this stage. We're already 10 laps in. The stage break is at 70. It was supposed to go longer, but with this caution, these tires are going to stay a little cooler, a little longer, a little more preserved. So these guys are still just driving hard as they can. We're not gonna. I don't think fuel's going to be an issue. So this is really fun to watch these restarts.
That is Jason Fensler out front. Trevor Earhart here in second place. He's got the restart on the bottom again here to try to hold on to that second position. Looks like that's been a tough job to do as they get the tires warmed up on the bottom, the 25 and the 24. Nick Alves, Justice Murphy up top in the second lane. Jason Fensler going to lead us to green, though. Pace car is in. We are waiting, and green flag is out, and we're off and away for lap 42. Jason Fensler, a really great start there, but also Justice Murphy trying to hold on to that quarter panel on the 25, but Trevor Hart able to clear there for second.
Look up there in fifth. James Loveland, we noted he started back. He worked his way up, finished seventh in the stage. So definitely a huge move for him as he makes his way around Nick Alves in the 24 for fourth place, setting his sights on Justice Murphy. So he is moving his way methodically through the traffic here. As we watch Ray Lane, we saw him fall back rather quickly in the first stage. Looks like he's kind of stabilized there in seventh, it looks like, so definitely good for him. Maybe he can get it figured out as the caution comes out for the fourth time. So another car around this track, not taking any prisoners.
Yeah, looks like Matt Job in the 89 has went around on the back straightaway here to bring out our fourth caution of the night, third one due to a incident. As the 89, our winner from Daytona last week, going to take some heavy nose damage by getting into the inside wall to bring that caution out there as the field continues to pace.
And watching the 44 there, we were documenting how he lost his tires probably a little bit early on. So he's sitting there looking pretty there in sixth place now. So maybe he's learned a little bit and maybe he can save his tires right there with James Lemon going to line up in front of him on this restart. Nick Alves inside. So a lot of these drivers still jostling for position, waiting for this stage end. Look at all the pink banners. It means those drivers are in the playoffs. So a lot of these drivers, all of these drivers, I think in the top 6, top 8 are all in the playoffs. So all of these guys driving for their points and trying to get that stage win.
Everybody looking to get stage points here at lap 70 here for stage number 2. It's going to be interesting to have that 56 up there in the fourth position. He's going to have that outer groove, which has been preferred. But the 25 with Trevor Hart's done a good job on the bottom to be able to hold on to that second position. And I tell you what, a lot of weaving being done by our leader, Jason Fidler, who's trying to keep the heat in those tires. It seems like maybe that's something they're struggling with here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds.
And we noted during qualifying and practice that it just went from, afternoon to twilight to dark, and it is absolute darkness out there. We are in the midst of night, and all the lights are on. So the track's going to be cool, tires are going to be cool. So these guys are really slipping and sliding around, trying to do whatever they can to keep whatever heat they can in those tires.
As we look now at our weather here, you can see exactly how cool it is out there on the racetrack here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds. It is 62 degrees Fahrenheit out here, 66-degree track temp with a 6-mile-an-hour north wind. Also about 11% relative humidity. So it's definitely a cold night out there. A little bit of wind and a little bit of partly cloudy skies as the grip level is going to be up on this racetrack. These drivers are going to be looking to build the heat here as we get ready to come to the green flag here. Pace car is going to pull in. Front row is our top 2 at points. Jason Finsler, Trevor Earhart, 2 races to go. Who's going to be your champion? A crucial restart here in stage number 2. Jason Finsler off and away as he's shot out of a cannon. He's going to have a good gap, but can Earhart hold on to that second spot? He's going to have Loveland on the quarter panel. He's going to hang there. It looks like Loveland not going to give in, but the 25 does clear as we head down the back straightaway.
Then we have the 24 on the inside of the 44, definitely racing hard. The 77 Grant Thorpe on the outside there. These guys are racing really close together, not giving an inch. All these playoff drivers, all these points. As the front 5 looks like kind of string out, but here we are, side by side still. Now Ray Lane gets away from the 24, the 77 and the 24 now battling. These guys are going too wide. Coming. 77 goes a little wide, 3 wide coming out of 4, so already really treacherous. Lap 50, 70 to the stage break. So we have 20 laps to go to the stage, so all these drivers jostling for position in the top 10.
Everybody looking for a spot here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. The 21 of Heights, the 77 of Thorpe, the 31 of Twynham. They're all looking for some type of position here around that 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th position as everybody's coming off side by side right now. Twynham, though, going to lose out there off of 2. Now he's going to have Orlando Jr. in the 27 beside him. Circovich in the 3 behind him, and also Parker Johnson in the 48. Racing side by side is, behind that, there goes around. I believe that was the 15 of John Magner there, who's going to go around and bring out our 5th caution of the night.
Oh, another loose car. These definitely pushing and shoving each other, pushing to the edge as we go to the Freaky Fast instant replay. See what went wrong for the number 15. Going into 3, transitioning the corner, going to 4. I think that's the 30. Oh, he just looks like the 30 just got into that inside quarter panel there. So second time the 30. Oh, another impact with Matt Job to the front end. So another incident for a playoff driver tonight.
Yes, it is. John Magner going around, but Matt Job, one of our playoff contenders, getting caught up in it. Our winner from Daytona last week also. So a tough week it's been here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Hopefully still a fast repair in his back pocket. But also got to remember another thing for all these guys. 12 incident points is all you can acquire here, and then after every 6 you get another penalty. So some guys could be definitely serving some penalties here tonight if the incident count goes above that 12 marker. So that's not very lenient. So that is on the low side. So man, I tell you what, these guys are gonna be careful for that. Right now though, Jason Finsler going to stay out front with Trevor Earhart in second.
And there's 56 of James Loveland in 3rd. Worked his way from the very, very back in 17th place up to 3rd. In great spot for some to make a good dent in those points. Will it be enough? It's hard to say, but every point matters, and every finishing spot counts, and you never know where he could be at the end of the race.
Every spot is going to matter coming down to the end of the season. Right now, if I'm thinking correctly, right now, Jason Finsler should have gained 1 total point on Trevor Earhart due to that finishing 1 position better in that stage. So right now, it looks like it's about an 11-point lead. But then after this stage, if Jason Finsler can also finish first while Trevor Earhart finishes second, he'll gain another point. So it'll be down to 10. And then he'll gain another point by being a position ahead. It's going to be close. I mean, if anything, he can stay second throughout the stage and finish of the race and keep Jason Finsler right there. It could be about a 9 to 8 point gap heading into the final race. And what we've seen here tonight, only gaining about 4 to 6 points. If you got that 8-point gap, he can do the same thing next week.
Definitely interesting game we play with those points, but with Trevor Earhart on the inside, we know that's been a little tricky line to start. So do you think Trevor Earhart has those points on his mind? Is he counting those? Is he just racing, trying to preserve what he can?
I think the most likely he's got points on the mind, but it's not the most critical thing. Right now, he's just thinking about getting through this restart, living in the moment. But points are always in the back of your mind here as the driver of the championships come down to the line. Now everybody line back up. We're going back green flag racing. And this time, good restart there from the 9 of Justice Murphy from the 4th position. He's actually going to enter a nose ahead of the 25, who's now going to clear him, actually. Great job by Trevor Earhart to work the bottom lane and still get the 2nd position off the 2.
And then Justice Murphy making a move, was able to get around James Loveland as well as we go into 3. The 9 not letting Trevor Earhart out of his sight, though. We have James Loveland behind the 9, 24 of Nick Alves behind Loveland. So all these guys stacking up together, they're trying to figure this track out and slowly work their way. But Jason Fensler, he is on another level. He has checked out already to almost 3/4 of a second. So definitely a challenge trying to keep up with that number 5.
Yeah, the speed is always there. There goes around the 77. Grant Thorpe is cautions of green caution, 6th caution of the night here on lap 58. Here as, man, it looks like the 77 is the first one to go around. Now it's contact possible between him, the 21, and the 99. As multiple drivers involved here in the 6th caution of this evening.
Definitely. That was one of our biggest ones. Let's go back to the freaky fast broadcasting instant replay. There's the 77 of Grant Thorpe fighting the number 31 of Ryan Twynham. Looks like the 77 just kind of lost that line, got up into the 31 and then came back down the 21 and the 99 of Dylan Walton. And that was just an accordion effect gone wrong. And then the 3 into the 21. Oh, and then the 48. So that's 6 cars all in that incident. They were hitting hard into the inside wall. So, do believe some fast repairs are going to be used this round.
That they most likely are. That inside wall not been very forgiving at all here tonight. It's been the place of calamity for sure. As we've seen most of the wrecks come off of 4. We've had 1 off of 2 into the inside wall, but when you wreck at a track like this, so small and not very wide, that inside wall comes up very quickly once you're trying to avoid that outside wall.
Man, it's hard to say what comes at you faster, that wall or those cars, but yeah, Zach, there's just really nowhere to go, and it's really unfortunate. It's hard to, especially when you're back in the pack, you have to worry about, how the cars in front of you driving, if someone's wrecking, and just keeping an eye and maybe 1 step ahead of the guys in front of you. So it's definitely difficult driving out back there and maneuvering through the field and making those passes further on back.
Well, it looks like some drivers here electing to do a little pit road action, and mostly the drivers who got involved in that incident. So they're going to be coming out there now. Pit road, you see them heading down the back straightaway. But man, 2 races to go. Really, you could say 1.5. This race is pretty much it is past halfway. So yeah, you could say 1.5 at this point now. I mean, Jason Fensler, it's been one of those seasons that you would think he would have never thought he'd be in this position with how his season's played out and how big points lead he had in the regular season. But it shows you in the playoffs, you have to be on your game. And those 2 bad races have brought him back to reality. And now he's trying to dig himself out of a hole and win himself another championship after winning the Truck Series last season.
And definitely a reason why you got to race every race and every lap. So there's no cushion, and nothing can be comfortable when you're in the lead. So sometimes you add even a little more pressure to yourself, but you never know. Jason has the speed. He has definitely the line to win it. So only being behind maybe inspires him and maybe motivates him just that little bit more.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a motivating touch here to be put back behind as you've led all season. Now, coming from the underdog position, Jason Fensler has been on a roll here in the night, trying to get himself back in position. Pace car lights are going to go out. Trevor Earhart going to start in that bottom lane once again. He's going to have the tougher, I think James Lovell has been the one that gave him the toughest time on the outside lane. That 2 restarts ago. Right now, he's going to have him again in 4th. It's going to be another test. Can that 25 hold that position? Because only 6 laps till that stage 2 break. It's going to be a shootout here. Sprint down to the stage 2 break. Pace car is in. Jason Fensler out front. Trevor Earhart, the 2 playoff contenders out front. Here he goes. The 5 is on it. So is the 56. But it looks like Earhart going to be a nose ahead. Can the 56 hold on to position, or does the 25 clear him off of 2? It looks like the 25 going to have the run, and yes, he does. Trevor Earhart going to hang on to second. Loveland back to third, but Murphy's going to be one sliding off of 2, slipping back to 5th.
Oh, Murphy got into 1 a little hot, and looks like he got a little loose. Really had to save it. It was really spectacular work there. But as everyone trying to files them behind him, you have the 24 Nick Alves, you have the 99 of Walterman. Top 3 cars have checked out, but definitely kind of a quagmire behind 4th on.
Oh man, Ray Lane, our pole setter, trying to get everything here. It's contact between him and our 99 of Dylan Walterman as he hits the inside wall. We keep it straight here, and no caution out of the racetrack. Cody Dorsey almost hit to the back of him there. And man, oh man, we're staying green here. If a caution does come out, it'll be the end of the stage though, because we're within 5 of lap 70. Jason Fensler crossing the line. It's going to be 3 to go here in stage 2.
And once again, we saw where that inside wall crept up and bit him again, so 0 space. And I saw maybe the 99 of Dylan Walterman. Oh, as we see him have to chase it up, we saw a little bump there coming out of 2, so definitely having to keep their hands full. Oh wow, as he looks, oh, and he's gonna get sent around again. Wow, the 48 of Parker Johnson looks like we keep, oh nope, the yellow's gonna come out, and this will be the stage break.
Oh man, that was a wild wreck there. Really all starting around the 99 of Walterman and the 84 of Cody Dorsey there to bring out that caution. And then it was 4 wide at one point. Scott Kerberg, Parker Johnston for the 7th caution there tonight. I mean, that right there, it'll be the stage break. Also, it's Jason Fensler, Trevor Earhart, James Loveland, Justice Murphy, Nick Alves, Ray Lane, Ryan Twynham, Dylan Walterman, and Matt Job, and Cody Dorsey, the top 10 there. But what a wild wreck there for 4 wide racing.
That was like a really slow developing. It took like 2 or 3 laps to finally come to a head there. So that was a little anxious, some anxious moments there. But man, some of these cars just cannot stay straight. Really, this track really bumpy, really slick. Despite all these all the warm ups he's trying to do, and these cautions don't help. So, like you said, Zach, cautions breed cautions. We're going to have another restart on our hands here in a little bit.
That we are, as everybody is hit pit road here and getting service done on their race cars. Looks like Jason Fensler going to win the race off of pit road. Trevor Earhart going to come out 2nd. James Loveland 3rd. Justice Murphy 4th, and Nick Alves rounding out the top 5 there off the race off of pit road. But man, you know, now another point gained by by Jason Fensler. Can Trevor Earhart bounce back, maybe get the race victory from here to push himself forward? It would really help his causes, but at the end of the day, still having a great points night for that points leader of the 25.
And definitely the points are huge, and Jason Fensler's just been fast. He's been really shooting out of that cannon on when he gets in that restart zone, he's gone. So it's really trying to time it up, but he's so quick and he's so smooth on that throttle and he's so fast. I think that's going to be the saving point here, because once he gets out there, he gets in half-second lead and no one can really close that gap. So I think the restarts are the most critical for Jason Fensler and Trevor Earhart.
This is going to put an interesting twist on it too. Ryan Twynham out front here still. Matt Job and Christopher Height, sorry, our top 3 not pitting here. So it's going to put Fensler back in 4th with Dorsey 5th, Earhart in 6th. So actually Earhart's going to push up to 5th there as Dorsey is on pit road. So yeah, this is going to shake things up a little bit here with our top 3 not having pit. And you know, can Fensler or Earhart, this is a time right now that's going to be dangerous for them to lose track position and get caught up in something.
And definitely going to be interesting. We had a lot of caution flags during that stage, but this track does eat tires, and they have had some green flag runs. 4 or 5 laps, doesn't matter, they still wear, and all those cars with new tires behind them, this is going to be really, really tricky. And all those cars in front of them, as we see the 3 of Sirkovich, a little bit of damage there. So this is going to be tricky for not only the cars in front, but the cars behind them as well.
It's going to be a tricky situation nonetheless, for sure. Out front, Ryan Twine, Matt Job, and Chris Wright's not yet to pit. You're going to have Jason Finsler. He's luckily going to be stuck up top there in fourth. I think he's actually in a pretty good spot to come out of this. Right now, Trevor Earhart, if you're sitting back in that fifth position, you got to be actually scratch your head here being behind two cars on older tires. Pace car is going to pull in. The strategy's going to everything right now. Stage number 3 getting ready to begin. Ryan Twynham out front. Matt Job on the front row. Green flag is in the air. Twynham off and away. Not a great start for the field as it's checked up on the bottom. A lot of damage there to the rear end of the 21 to the 25 getting to him as now we head down the 1. It's a huge checkup. Twynham out front. Here comes Finsler for the lead.
And as Finsler goes to the inside of Twynham going into 3, looks like Twynham as we have another caution come out. So will that give Jason Finsler the lead or will it not? But yeah, we definitely saw a lot of those, or almost all of those besides Twynham, all those cars that stayed out kind of just fall back. The 89 of Matt Job's still up there, but definitely an issue. We have to see if the 25 got into the 21, but here we go. Our Freaky Fast instant replay as we're riding along with the 44. We see the 44, Ray Lane, the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr., the 84 of Cody Dorsey, and it looks like he just gets turned a little bit right there, going into the inside wall by the 44, and just another effect with the Parker Johnson and 15 all going past him. So just another incident on the outside wall there. So these drivers really struggling to get a handle on this track.
Yeah, it looks like just all of a sudden lost the rear of the race car, and that could possibly be due to cold tires. We've seen a lot of guys warming the tires up. He loses the rear there, and it just steps away from Orlando Jr. there, getting himself caught up in that incident. But yeah, the big winner in that restart, Jason Finsler, drives himself all the way to the lead there from the 4th position. Twynham's going to sit back in 2nd. But man, Earhart's going to be the one that loses out the most. He's back to 6th. This takes away so much track position away from him. This is what Finsler wants to see, is drivers in between those two to help his point situation.
And that is absolutely brutal for Trevor Earhart. Definitely kind of a heartbreak for him. But look at that 56 there in 3rd. James Loveland sticking it in there and, you know, make.
Check. Are we okay? We're good. We're good, everybody. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties, I believe, on our side here. Yeah, we're still under caution for the nighttime, but we're riding aboard with the 25 of Trevor Earhart, who he's in a tough spot. Like we were just talking about, 6th place now, but gonna luckily start on the outside lane here on the restart.
The outside lane is the place to go, so definitely has a little extra oomph maybe on this restart. Looks like Jason Feathers is going to choose the outside as well, so that puts Ryan Twynham on the inside in front of James Loveland. So definitely interesting as these cars line up, but I think Trevor Earhart may be in a decent spot to make some passes early on this restart.
Yeah, he's going to be lined up behind the 89. That looks like a Matt Job also, so the new tires on the bottom lane and old tires on the bottom and the top lane, so we'll see how it stacks things up. But right now, Jason Finsler going to be out front looking to take that outside lane. Like we said, pace car lights are off. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing. It'll be 40 to go when we take the green flag, and we saw how fast 30 happens here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. It can click away in a blink of an eye here if we get some green flag racing. So hold on to your seats, everybody at home. We're getting ready to go for a wild ride here. Penultimate race of the season, 2 to go. It's Trevor Earhart and Jason Finsler battling it out for the points, with some other drivers also trying to make their way into that battle. Jason Finsler going to restart with the lead here. Ryan Twynham on the bottom with no front end. Here they are, back green flag racing, and Twynham immediately jumping up to the top. He immediately gets to the top lane. That's going to hold up the progression of there. And now everybody looking to go forward here is Joe on the outside of the 56 of Loveland. Here's the 25 of Earhart, though, trying to make every position for himself.
And then 25 nearly made it 3 wide in the middle there between the 56 and 89. Got checked up there, maybe thought better of it, but definitely was aching to get those positions. As go to the inside of the 89, into the quarter panel, sends the 89 into the wall, caused another crash. 9th caution of the evening. Oh man, that was an aggressive move gone wrong for Trevor Earhart and Matt Jobe.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit of move out of desperation. They're trying to get some positions back. And, just a simple mistake there for the 25. Gets a little run on the 89 in the corner there and slides up into that left rear quarter panel, wrecking the 89 there to bring out that ninth caution. And, Walterman nowhere to go. The 48 Parker Johnston also nowhere to go. So multiple guys collected in that incident there. Job, though, no front end. He's definitely got a hurt race car now.
I wonder if that was a case of those bumps into turn one, because if you get on those brakes a little hard, you kind of get a little bit of wheel hop, and you just, stop stopping, and you just roll up that track. So I wonder if there's a little case of, like you said, desperation, got it in there a little hot and just couldn't woe it down due to the track. So definitely questionable move there, but results are the ninth caution of the night. We see a lot of cars with damage. Definitely a short track race in the night. Zach, what do you think?
Definitely living up to the tapes of being a short track. This place is it could definitely be a tough one to race on, especially with how the groove is. So it's a really, really tough place to get around for sure. So right now, looking at the field, it's pretty bruised up, beat up for a lot of drivers out there. But I tell you what, they're looking to make their way to the end of this race and get the points they can. But we want to give a special shout out here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting to one of our sponsors, and that is Advanced Sim Racing. They are founded in 2020. Advanced Sim Racing is the fastest growing North American racing simulation chassis manufacturer and digital motorsports equipment retailer. They're owned and operated by passionate sim racers, and the company designs and builds the sturdiest and most durable aluminum profile racing simulation cockpits available in the market today. So make sure you go check out Advanced Sim Racing. You can use our promo code FreakyFast5 there to get 5% off of any ASR branded products. So make sure you go check out Advanced Sim Racing. It's a pretty cool to be partnered up with such a cool website that brings so much great sim racing equipment and different types of cockpits and just so much cool stuff they have over there, man.
Oh, definitely got to head over there and take a look at that. Really, really professional, really clean, really solid stuff. So, Advanced Sim Racers, definitely for the racers, by the racers. So definitely go check them out.
Well, everybody, it's getting down to it. Jason Fensler, he's been able to hold on to the lead throughout much of this. A little bit of ever since we got that one caution, it's just seemed to breed a lot more. So, right now, he's in a good spot with how it's playing out. He's going to take the outside lane here. I was questioning, does he try the inside lane to get, his rival captured behind the 31 of Twynham here? But it looks like he's elected to hold that upper groove. It's going to let Earhart have the restart behind him, maybe possibly to slide up the second. This could be crucial here as Twynham going to restart on the bottom in the 31. Everybody get ready as we're getting ready for this next restart. We're getting near 30 to go here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. It's caution number 9. We're getting ready to go back. Restart number 10. The 5 of Jason Fensler out front. Going to lead us back to green. Here's the green flag waves. He's off and away. Again, another great restart for Ryan Twynham as he's able to slide up into that top groove and really make a move here as he holds on to that position. Earhart, though, able to take home a third as Loveland slots into fourth. Here comes Earhart for second, though.
Earhart not patient at all. Definitely wanted to get up there and not lose time to Jason Fensler as Ryan Twynham looks like he's going high. He's going to get freight train, though, on the bottom because we have Trevor Earhart, James Loveland, Nick Alves, Justice Murphy, all going to go try and go around Twynham, but looks like Alves sneaks behind, dives to the inside of the 31, going into 3, keeps the car under him, coming out of 4, looks like he's going to make the pass. Justice Murphy, too, looks like to make the move on the 31. So the 31 started out good, but that damaged car and those old tires definitely finally catching up.
That they are. That damage is just too much to hold on to. Is Twynham doing a great job of it right now. But caution number 10. It's going to fly. Christopher Heights on the back straightaway. His front end is gone, and his night has gone up in smoke.
Man, this has become a night of attrition. If you can keep running by the end of the night, you're going to have a top 10 car. But here we are, freaky, fast, instant replay. The 21 going to the inside, the 27, Kevin Orlando Jr. Looks like he's got it, but maybe just a little bit of help there. But let's see. Yeah, looks like he just got into the wall and just lost it there. So, definitely tricky. This track, definitely slick, and these cars, once you get on those throttle too hard, you spin the tires and send that car around. So a lot of these drivers still having issues.
Yeah, I tell you what, the driver Parker Johnson coming off a pit road there, watched all that transpire right in his mirror. He probably had a good little scare there as the 21 was losing it off of turn 2 and suddenly appeared in his rear view. But man, another caution, 10 cautions here. It's definitely them starting to pile up here. As Twynham, he's brought his 31 down the pit road. I think he's got his fast repair, so he now has a front end on the front of that machine there. Is Jason Finsler and the rest of the field continues to stay out. My question is, do we ever see any type of pit stops, with the cautions here? I don't think we will if we keep getting them back to back like that. But if we get a considerable 10 to 15 lap run here green, we could see them try to hit pit road.
Oh man, Zach, you have to throw the strategy card out there. You know, it's hard to say. There's been so many cautions so consistently. So, like you said, it's really hard to judge. But if there was a run, some people may make that. We saw Ryan Twynham stay up there for a few laps. It was only this past restart that he actually fell back. So it's possible, at least staying up there and having that chance. So it's definitely possible people trying to shake up the strategy and take track position over anything else.
Rack position has definitely been king so far here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds. As 10 cautions for the 94 laps is been definitely an incident-filled one, as we thought that it possibly could be here. This type of racing surface, very tough to make side-by-side maneuvers and stick yourself in positions. But next week, season finale, don't forget about that. We're going to be crowning a champion here, and it's going to be at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And I can tell you what a great track to do it there under the lights.
It's going to be great to go there and see how many drivers will roll the dice for that championship win or just the race win. I love Vegas. Such a fun track. It's always just interesting to watch these cars go those 1.5 miles. I know people call them cookie cutters, but they're really not. And each track presents its own challenges. Vegas is one of my favorites, so I'm going to love absolutely watching these guys go head to head at Vegas.
What a giant battle it will be, especially if we finish it out the way we are now. Jason Finsler out front, Trevor Earhart in second. Those are our top 2 in points. We're separated by 12 points here coming tonight with Trevor Earhart leading those points. It's been Jason Finsler's night, though, as he's trying to gain on that 25. We're going to go back from this restart here. 10 cautions tonight. Let's see if we can get to 120 in. It's going to be Jason Finsler out for a green flag in the air. Great start from him. Not the greatest start there from Trevor Earhart. He's going to have Alves a complete door ahead here, entering the corners. He's going to have a tough time here getting by this 24.
Yeah, definitely. That was a slow restart from 25. I got out of 2 a little slow, too, as well. So the 56, James Loveland, trying to take that outside line and try and get that pass on the 25. But Trevor getting up in front of the 56 and behind Nick Alves. Nick Alves, he started he started 6th. Wasn't necessarily out there, but he's been hanging around the top 5 all day long, and there he is in 2nd. I don't think he can catch our leader, the Jason Finsler, but definitely a strong run for him this later on in the race.
And this is getting wild here. This is critical moments here. So Twynham, and it looks like the 44, Ray Lane, they might have had a little bit of incident. They're both slow on the racetrack as they get going. Ray Lane, though, slow on the apron, still chugging along. But, man, here is now Murphy on the back of the 56 of Loveland, who's on the back of the 9 of 25 of Trevor Earhart, who's on the 24 of Alves. And I tell you, this point here that Earhart's looking like behind the 24 Alves is going to be a critical position. He needs to get this spot.
And right behind him is the 56 of Loveland. He started in the back, so he's been able to work his way through traffic as 25 gets up to the bumper. Oh, as we see another caution. The 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr., the 3 of Sirkovich. All right, there's the caution, I think. As the yellow comes out for the 11th time with 21 to go. So these drivers going kind of bare-fisted at this point. They're really beating each other up out there.
That they are. Let's get into somewhat of a brawl here. 11 cautions tonight, and a few drivers definitely involved in those, as it's been a tough one around the Nashville Fairgrounds. I imagine a few drivers have hit that 12 incident limit count, so you're sure a few drivers will probably be having some black flag penalties, but it looks like the 3 of Sekovich is the one who went around there to bring out that caution.
And all these drivers, we have a lot of drivers. We saw them. We actually saw the 27 a couple laps earlier coming out of pit lane. So definitely interested to see him caught up in another incident. We have quite a few cars a lap down. I guess the last 5 or so lap down. So some of these drivers may have already had those, as we watch the 21 of Christopher Heights take his lucky dog. So we haven't said that a lot this season, but definitely interesting. And another caution. So 19 laps to go. Again, I don't see anyone hitting this time. So once again, another restart, and let's see if it breeds another caution.
Yeah, what's the most wild thing about that right there after that is Earhart just made the pass for the 2nd position as that caution goes out. So right now he's got to be saying, "Oh man, that's probably unfortunate here. Now I got to start on the bottom again." But technically, it's not going to be the worst, because if he had to restart in 3rd position, he'd be 2nd car on the bottom, so it'd be even worse at that point. You'd rather restart in 4th. But Loveland going to have that position now. We'll see what he can do with Finsler still controlling this race. He has been, like you said earlier in the race, out of this world.
And it'd be interesting to see James Loveland get up there in the mix. He's been really fast all day. Maybe not the speed of Jason Fensler, but 24 hanging around. Justice Murphy, the number 9 of Justice Murphy, he's been up there too. He's got a little bit of damage, but doesn't seem to be affecting him that much. The 77 of Grant Thorpe in 6th. He won Nashville Super Speedway earlier in the season. So definitely these drivers, they've been sitting there all race long, but here they are still racing for the win. But here we are, 17-16 to go, and the green flag comes out. So this is going to be one kind of ride, to tell you what.
It definitely will be, Carl. We cannot wait to see how it all plays out here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds. 2nd to last race of the season here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. It has been a special one, nonetheless, to say, as it's been very action-packed here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. And, if I'm not sure, Freaky Fast has actually a few races coming up here at the Fairgrounds, too, with a few in other leagues. So we're getting prepared here. So this track definitely going to get some screen time here. It's just the first time here tonight. So right now, Jason Fensler, the leader out front.
Yeah, this track definitely doesn't take any prisoners, and it's getting a lot of love from iRacing, a lot of love from NASCAR, so it's good to see it kind of get revitalized and rejuvenated as we watch the pace car come down the backstretch. The lights are off, so we are going green, going into 3. The pace car comes off the track, goes into pit lane, come into green. Barney's got the green flag out. Cars are coming out of 4. Jason Fensler away. James Lovin on the outside of the 25. Traver Earhart going into 1.
Looks like Earhart going to be able to get the spot, but no, Loveland fights hard off of 2. Never mind, there's the 25. He clears him. 2nd place for Trevor Earhart. What he needs to do. 15 to go. Also got to remember, the caution flag waves. There it is, 12th caution of the night, and it's been action-filled one. I don't even know the race car is spun out here.
That's an interesting situation. I didn't see any smoke. I didn't see any cars having issues. Maybe there was something. Looks like Ray Lane disconnected, so maybe there is kind of an incident. As we go to the Freaky Fast instant replay, as we go to the 44 Ray Lane, there on the apron. Looks like he was trying to get to pit road, maybe missed it. Going down the front stretch.
Yeah, it was for Dylan Walterman. He got sideways in 3 and 4, and that's what brought out our caution here. So Ray Lane just parking it there for the night. I think he's had enough of it out here at the Nashville Fairgrounds, and brought the 44 behind the wall, as he was our pole sitter here tonight. But yeah, Dylan Walterman there, the driver sliding through 3 and 4, bringing out that quick yellow there for 13 to go.
So another restart, 13 to go. We're probably going to go green with 9, 10 to go maybe. So I think at this point, if you're going to get tires, you're going to get them, but you got to make your bed and sleep in it. So if you get them now, you get them and you start in the back, but it looks like a lot of these drivers are going to stay out front. They haven't run hardly any green laps on their tires, so they may be a little worn, but I think they have enough grip to get them to the end. So these drivers going to be fighting hard. Trevor Earhart needs to figure out a way to maybe time the restart, or maybe listen to Jason. I don't know, but he's just not as fast on the restarts as I think he needs to be.
Yeah, you know, this is getting down to the point where, you know, can Trevor Earhart time it? You know, we've seen Jason Finzer really be very, very good about timing the restarts and getting a couple car length gap. So if Trevor Earhart can get that good restart and get right side by side up with him, maybe you know, use a little bit of elbow grease, and you never know. This championship's gonna be important, man. 5 points does separate. I did go and do a little research. 5 points does separate the first and second position, as there's 5 points separating the race winner and that second place man. So it'll be a 5 points difference there, and I believe he's gained at least you know, 2 on him tonight with the stage. It's gonna look to be about a 5-point gap if we stay the same here entering Las Vegas.
And we've seen the 25 kind of dip his nose in early. Maybe lost the front of the car a little bit, got in a matchup earlier. So he's willing to make the aggressive play, but I think if you're going to do it, you're going to do it now, and just hope you can deal with the consequences, because we know having some bad blood going to a championship race will lead to some really interesting racing next week.
And thank you everybody out there in chat. Love you guys to death. Y'all are awesome for sure, as always. As we'll get ready to go back racing here. 10 to go here in this stage. And man, I tell you what, Jason Finzer winning both those stages. It's getting clutch for that driver entering into the final 2 races. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing here. 12 cautions tonight. Will we see another? Who knows? Jason Finzer off and away, green flag in the air as Trevor Earhart's able to clear the outside lane. He's going to hold on to second.
And as Nick Alves is on the outside fighting for third with the 56 of James Loveland, looks like he's going to take it down the backstretch, but that was the start Trevor Earhart needed. Oh, as the 56 dives it in there hard, nearly getting to the 24. That was really close, but definitely some hard driving here. 8 to go. All these drivers are trying to get that race win, catch that leader. 56 looks like he's trying to make a move on the 24. Can't quite make it on Nick Alves, but there's Justice Murphy lurking in the back and just waiting for one of these drivers to make a mistake.
That outside lane's so tough to get by, but Loveland does it. He gets himself up to third. 7 to go here. Finzer out front. Earhart in second. Loveland in third. It's looking very green at this point as Murphy, he's trying now to get that 4th position from Alves late to go in. It's 6 to go with Jason Finzer out front.
And then there's Grant Thorpe in 6th. He won Nashville Super Speedway, so definitely another good run for him. Justice Murphy can't quite make the pass on Nick Alves in the 24, so he's going to try and maybe square him up for another run. But the 77, maybe looking to get another position under his belts and just another feather in his cap for another good night at Nashville.
That it would be our Nashville Super Speedway winner here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds. Look very good also right now, running that 6th position, that 77, not able to make the playoffs, but what a season he has had up to this point. Oh man, I believe the 30 of Kerber, he has hit the inside wall to pit road, but luckily he gets it backed up and going as we stay green with 4 to go. That 2nd position is starting to heat up also as Loveland, he's closed into that gap on the 25. I think these 2 are teammates. Does Loveland take a chance here and try to get past his teammate Earhart, who he knows is in this championship battle?
Ooh, that's definitely a good question. You know, teammates only go so far and everyone wants to win. So I don't know. This is for second, maybe for the race win to be different. Oh, but man, he really gets close up on him on the corner entry. So maybe he's going to prove me a liar, but definitely he's his entry is much more quicker, but maybe doesn't have quite the speed off it. So they look like they're diamonding it. So he may be trying, but here we are with the freaky fast. White flag, 1 to go. Jason Finzer in the lead. Trevor Earhart in 2nd place. James Loveland in 3rd.
Here we go. Oh, it's Murphy and Alves. They get into it off of 4. Looks like it stays green since we got the white flag. It's going to be an official finish here. Jason Finzer through 3 and 4. He's going to be able to hold on and win here tonight. The Nashville Fairgrounds close the gap down as oh, there's Alves right across the line. There's the 31 of Twyman Orlando Jr. But here comes Earhart and the 56 of Lovewood, your top 3, as that is your race over here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Jason Finzer back to victory lane after 2 tough weeks.
And you know, it was just a matter of time. He was going to get over that and make a statement here in the playoffs. So good win for the number 5. Trevor Earhart giving them a little love taps. So this is a great racing tonight. Saw some cars really getting loose and getting back around. So definitely a fun night of racing. And congratulations to the number 5, the Jason Penzler.
Definitely congrats to Finsler. He is on a roll here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds. See if he can carry that into Las Vegas and put himself in position to win another championship. I think he'll be, if I'm doing the math correctly, we'll see at the end of the race what it all comes out to be. It'll either be 4 or 5 points separating our top 2 here in Las Vegas. And man, Earhart's gonna have to be feeling pretty nervous about that one. As this 5, he's definitely been one to beat. We're gonna watch him burn it down, but we're gonna go to a quick break here also to get our top 3 up here in the booth to have a chat with us about their night here at the Nashville Fairgrounds and what they think, what they can expect here in the final race of the season. We'll be back in right a few moments. All right, we are back here, everybody, with our post-race interviews here tonight at the Underdog Racing League at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Our top 3, James Loveland, Trevor Earhart, and Jason Finsler. What a trio that is. Let's hear from James Loveland, our 3rd place man, first. Hey, James, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, well, I'll tell you what, Nashville Fairgrounds, a tough racetrack it look like out here tonight to be able to get some passes done, man. But you are our biggest mover, working your way from 17th up to 3rd. Take us through your night, James.
Yeah, just couldn't qualify at all. Had to start in the pits and yeah, just worked my way up and just drove my own race and managed to get a top 3 out of it.
Yeah, this track, first time here in Freaky Fast actually for us to call a race here. I mean, I don't know how much experience you have here, but definitely a interesting racetrack with the line here tonight. The Exit Phoenix car is looking to really open up the corner there and then cut down late on the exit, and it really bumpy also, I must say.
Yeah, it was very bumpy. It was very hard to go through the corners. You go in the entry and you your brakes wouldn't work right, and you're going into the corner, and it was just super tight, very loose off exit. It was it's not fun to drive. I don't enjoy this track, but yeah, somehow I managed to control it fairly well and never hit the wall or anything. I had a solid race, solid run, and I'll take it.
Well, man, season finale upcoming here at Las Vegas. How you feel about heading off into that 1.5 miler, man?
I enjoy that track. It's a really fun track to run. Way better than most of the playoff schedule I ran. I most of the tracks I didn't enjoy running, but I'll have a lot of fun at Vegas. It's a fun track. Probably have some multi groove racing and yeah, finish off the season strong.
Well, man, we'll see how you can pull it off there at Vegas. Before we let you get out of here, James, though, and get prepared for Vegas next week. Anybody want to send a shout out to, man?
Yeah, shout out to the league as always. Shout out to you guys for the broadcast and shout out to the F5 team. We got second and third. Probably should have had second. Maybe should have punted Trevor. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, solid night for us and yeah, that's it.
Well, James, congrats on third here tonight. Great drive up from that 17th starting spot. We'll catch you next week at Las Vegas, man. You have a great night.
Hey, you too, guys.
All right, everybody. That was our third place driver of James Loveland here in the 56. Now we're going to move on to our points leader here tonight. Should be our points leader exiting tonight. Also heading into the final race of the season is Trevor Earhart. Let's hear from the 25 himself. What a night it was here to try to keep that points gap within reach here for himself. Hey, Trevor, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
Yeah, I do. How's it going?
Well, man, it's going great. I tell you what, Trevor, man. Yeah, I tell you what, this is definitely getting down to the important parts of the season, man. 2 races to go. You enter here tonight with a 12-point gap back to Jason Finsler. He's gonna win and get both those stage victories, but you did everything in your power not to let him gain more. Take us through your night, man, because getting second in both those stages, getting the lead a lap, I think that's going to end up being critical for your chances at Las Vegas next week.
Yeah, that was huge. The when the green flag dropped, getting the jump on Ray. I don't know if he spun the tires or what, but getting the jump on him and getting out there to lead a lap, that really helped because that negates Finsler leading his laps. And I tried to control the race as much as I could up front when I was up there, but I knew Jason was going to be quick coming into tonight, and he was going to be the one to beat. And once he got by me, it was just kind of, don't do anything silly to wreck the car, control what you can control and bring it home. And we did it. We were just talking about it. We think it's going to be about a 5-point gap going into Las Vegas next week, so it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, it's actually the math I was doing up here. I'm glad you guys said that y'all think 5 points because that's what I was coming to in my head. So yeah, man, 5 points entering Las Vegas. I mean, it's a 5-point gap between that race win and second place. So do you think it's going to take a race win? I mean, we've seen Finsler. He wins a lot of races, and for sure, I think it's possibly going to take that race win to get the victory or the championship next week.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take a race win. Because if you think about it, if it comes down to a 1-2 finish and 1-2 in the stages, he's going to win it on a tiebreaker. So it's definitely going to take the race win. I'm looking forward to fighting for it next week. I don't think you could ask for a better opponent to test your skills against than Jason. I mean, he's proven it the last 2 seasons, so definitely looking forward to that challenge.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a fun challenge to definitely deal with. I tell you, we're going to have a blast up here in the booth watching you guys go at it next week at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We cannot wait to get to that season finale. But before we let you get ready to go head to the season finale, anybody want to send a shout out to for tonight's finish, man?
Shout out to Loveland. He cut me a break there at the end of that race, letting me maximize the points going into the final race. So huge shout out to him. Shout out to the Earhart Group, Bank of Oklahoma, Bogey in the Weeds, all those guys for being on the car as always. All my friends and family, grandparents, and everybody that are watching at home. And shout out as always to you guys for the great broadcast.
Oh man, congrats tonight on second, Trevor. We're going to be watching very carefully next week between you and Jason up at the front. Man, have a great week and have some good preparation.
Thank you. You guys too.
All right, everybody. That was your second place driver and points leader of Trevor Earhart heading into the final race at Las Vegas. Here's the driver that's going to be closest to him in points. It's most likely will be a 5-point gap to that number 5 car, Jason Finsler, our regular season champion, last season champion in the Truck Series. Let's hear from him, though, on the victory here tonight that has closed this gap from 12 points down to 5. He gained 7 tonight. If he gains another 7 next week, he will be the champion. Let's hear from the 5. Hey, Jason, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, man, a great rebound for yourself after 2 tough races here in the Xfinity Series that puts you on the back burner, my friend. 12 points down here in the night. Looks like most likely from what we're doing math in our head and hearing from the rest of the guys, it's most likely will be around a 5-point lead entering Las Vegas. So, man, you make up 7 here tonight. How critical is that heading into Las Vegas next week?
Oh, it's huge. This was a tough race just because it's a short track and a tough racetrack too. It's real bumpy, but yeah, like I said after the charity race, you got to max points, and we didn't quite get the max points, but we got some points and we got speed. So Vegas will definitely be a lot of fun.
Yeah, now Vegas is heading up, but man, tonight you were just so dominant. Take us through this track. It was definitely a weird one, so bumpy. We've seen definitely some interesting lines being used by the drivers. What was the main factor you feel like for running so good here tonight?
Well, on a short track, especially a rough track like this, is just straight line off the corner. Keep the wheel spin down. It takes care of the rear tires. The car does get a little bit tight, but it's such a stop and go type racetrack, it doesn't really affect you too bad. So I think the biggest key for us tonight was just that straight line off the exit of the corner to get that max drive and try and gap yourself a little bit.
Well, man, I talked to Trevor Earhart. He says he thinks it's going to take a victory, most likely, to get that championship next week at Las Vegas. 5-point gap between first and second in the points, and that's also the gap that you get for scoring. So, do you think it's going to take another max points tonight, like you said here, to get yourself in that championship position?
That's the way we're going into it. You got to remember there's stages and there's points there. So, and me and Trevor typically run around each other. So I'll agree with it's going to take a win, but it's also going to take max points just because of those stage points. So that's what we're going to go in and try and do. And we'll see how the cards fall. And overall, it's been a good season. So either way, it'll be a good race.
That it will be, man. It's going to be fun to watch. You've worked your way back into position here to get that championship back to back, possibly from the Truck Series to the Xfinity Series, man. So congrats on the win here tonight. Jason, before we let you go, get prepared for Las Vegas next week for your battle for the championship. Anybody want to send a shout out to for your win here tonight, man?
You guys for doing a great broadcast. My niece Grace, she always tunes in every week. She's always cheering, so I appreciate that. And friends and family tuning in, and all the competitors. I know tonight was a yellow flag, kind of a yellow flag fest, but it's a short track. It's going to happen. But all the competitors are good guys, and Trevor, look forward to running with him next week.
All right, Jason, congrats on the win here tonight, man. We'll catch you next week in Las Vegas where you do battle for the championship. You have a great week, man.
Hey, you too. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody. That was your race winner here tonight of Jason Fensler in the 5 machine. What a win it was here to capitalize on this season so far. He's had coming back from 2 really tough races that pushed him back from that points lead to the second place points in the standings. Here tonight, though, he's going to get race win number 9 of the season and push himself closer to another championship. 5 points out to Trevor Earhart. We're going to go to our race results here and see where your favorite drivers finished out the night here at the Nashville Fairgrounds and see what's going to play out next week in Las Vegas. First place going to go to Jason Fensler, bringing home that 9th win. Second is going to be our points leader, Trevor Earhart, in a dogfight with him and Jason Fensler. Third is going to go to James Loveland. Fourth is going to go to Justice Murphy. Fifth place is going to be Matt Job. Sixth is going to go to Parker Johnston. Seventh is going to be Christopher Heights. Eighth going to go to Grant Thorpe. Ninth going to go to John Magner. And rounding out that freaky fast top 10 is going to go to Ryan Twynham. As I look to the rest of the field, Nick Alva is definitely a driver that sticks out in my mind there, running up in the top 5 for majority nights, going to finish 11th. Also another driver there, pole setter Ray Lane, going to finish back in 16th, 14 laps down. Tough night for him there in the 44 machine. But what a night it was here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Carl, we got one more race to go, my friend. It's Las Vegas, 5-point gap. It seems like it's going to be so fun to crown a champion next week. And I can tell you what, I can't tell you which one it's going to be. It's going to be hard to pick between these great group of drivers we got available for this championship.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. Of course, the 2 favorites, Trevor Earhart, Jason Fensler, they both raced so, almost flawless through the night. They kind of kept off each other. I mean, Jason Fensler was kind of hard to catch, but it's really hard to say who can win next week. I mean, Las Vegas is anyone's game, and anyone can gamble and make a play. So definitely interesting, and it's championship racing. What could be better? Definitely exciting. Everyone tune in next Wednesday. Make sure you catch us, and make sure you check us out on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely want to check us out next Wednesday on YouTube. Las Vegas, definitely a place to gamble if there ever was. So we'll see if a driver can gamble for that championship. Who's going to be the champion next week? We'll crown one here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting around this same time next Wednesday night, and I cannot wait to get there to Las Vegas. But again, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasurable time for me up here in the booth alongside my co-host Carl Pooler. As we sign off here tonight, we're going to send it up to our producer Robert Moyer Jr. to close it all out. Again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Zach, for calling great racing here. Thank you, Underdog Racing League, for letting Freaky Fast Broadcasting be a part of this great league every Wednesday night. But like these guys said, ladies and gentlemen, well, we're down to one more race. 5-point lead difference for Trevor there. So make sure you tune in next week and see, because you got stage points, 2 stages, which that can flip-flop things around. You got stuff that they can get called up into. We seen Jason bounce back here tonight, but the past 2 weeks was a little rough for him. So doesn't mean going into Las Vegas that this is all, easy sailing for him, or even for Trevor. I mean, one of them two are going to win the champion, I do believe. But I guess we'll all have to sit and wait until next Wednesday to find out, what happens at 8:30 Eastern here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But with that being said, I also want to give a big shout out to the ButtKicker. Thank you for the ButtKicker for coming aboard here all season with Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and also to Maconi Setup Shops, and also iRacing. And make sure you go check out iRacing.com, and also Advanced Sim Racing. Make sure you go check them out. They're all proud sponsors of Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and we hopefully you go and check out their products, and let us know what you think there on social media side of things. But if you're going back and watching this replay, make sure you know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to repeat it all the time. Just make sure you share it to your friends and family of your favorite social media platform. We do much appreciate that. But until next Wednesday, everybody be safe, and happy holidays from Freaky Fast and to your family. Until then, we'll talk to everybody later. God bless everybody. We love yous all. Peace out.